that Trump and his lawyer Michael Cohen are throwing in the towel. They're trying to actually get out of the now infamous NDA that backfired on them. Trump's not only giving up, his new filing falsely claims there, quote, is no NDA because it was never formed. Now, the filing from Trump reveals two things. He has now officially failed in trying to silence or punish Stormy Daniels, and he now admits his own team was wrong when they spent months claiming they would take her to court, let alone their erroneous claim that they had already won this case.
This case has already been won in arbitration, and anything beyond that, I would refer you to the president's outside counsel.
They also claim Daniels violated a hush agreement at least 20 times and could have to pay, therefore, $20 million.
At some point, probably a little foggy as to exactly when, the president found out and reimbursed him.
But the president did not promise in advance to reimburse Cohen for that?
That I don't know, whether there was an understanding between them. That I think Cohen knew he'd be reimbursed.
Cohen has now pled guilty for that reimbursement. This new filing also features a rarity. Donald Trump effectively admitting he was wrong about something. And Michael Avenatti is here with me live to react and explain why he actually opposes this new Trump motion on the NDA. But I want to say something else tonight. The impact here is much wider than a single NDA that Donald Trump tried to use to silence one civilian. Donald Trump's use and potential abuse of these gag orders hangs over his current governing controversies. He's pressured everyone from volunteers to transition staff to his most senior aides to sign them. He's retaliated against former aides like Omarosa with costly NDA lawsuits, which could be even on the mind of the anonymous administration official who penned that op-ed, and on other former senior officials' minds. In fact, I recently pressed former White House aide Steve Bannon on the practice, and he admitted he is bound by a Trump NDA and said that is the norm. Did you sign an NDA regarding your campaign experience or your White House experience?
I think everybody signed an NDA.
Did you?
Yes, I think everybody had to sign an NDA.
If these NDAs are enforced in court, they can chill the speech and the inside accounts of everyone from top aides to volunteers. But if Stormy Daniels and Michael Avenatti are showing how to stop Trump's NDA attack in its tracks or even make it backfire, well, that could have impact well beyond this case, as Trump is backing down in the new filing. Joining me now is Stormy Daniels' lawyer, Michael Avenatti. How did we get here?
Well, I think we got here because of the fortitude and the bravery of my client and the staying power that we have demonstrated in this case over the last 6 months, coupled with the approach that we took in the case, for which we caught a lot of criticism, and I caught a lot of criticism from time to time. And, you know, I'm all about results, and we got to look at the results, Ari, and you can't argue with the results.
Trump was using this NDA to threaten your client in millions of dollars of punishment. Now, in the new filing, Trump admits or claims the NDA doesn't exist. If that is a victory for you, why are you still fighting?
Well, because of the conditions of surrender, Ari. We want a judicial finding or a stipulation or agreement that, in fact, the agreement was illegal from the get-go. And that Michael Cohen knew it was illegal, that Donald Trump knew it was illegal. We also want Donald Trump and Michael Cohen to agree to pay my client's legal fees and cost and all the other expenses.
To pay you. You are the legal fees.
Well, I've already been paid, but to reimburse her for the legal fees and costs that she's expended in connection with the case. And also, Ari, let's remember...
That she's paid you?
Well, that she's paid me and others, but let's also remember how this all started. This actually started by Donald Trump having Michael Cohen file a bogus arbitration proceeding in California using a Trump Organization employee, an attorney by the name of Jill Martin, in an effort to silence and intimidate my client. They used the agreement in order to proceed with that bogus arbitration in California. They've now turned around 6 months later and admitted the whole thing was a sham. It was all a ruse designed to shut my client up. And I find that to be outrageous.
Do you think this filing, which is new, has any link to the reports from Bloomberg that there is now an open criminal probe beyond Michael Cohen into the Trump Organization and campaign finance violations?
Oh, I think it does. I think that this filing, what we saw Friday and then the filing on Saturday, is all about Michael Cohen and Donald Trump trying to prevent Michael Avenatti from deposing Donald Trump and Michael Cohen under oath. They do not want to face cross-examination by me under oath. They don't want to have to answer questions about this NDA and other payments to other women.
Based on the way that functioned, do you think there are other people affiliated with the Trump organization who broke campaign finance law?
I do, because I'm aware of other payments that occurred in 15 and 16. I'm not at liberty to get into the details. I've explained that in the past until my clients authorized me to. But my client was not alone. Ms. McDougal is not alone. There are other payments, and I have no question. There's no question in my mind.
So let's break out what you're saying, because people are following this going, wow, Donald Trump, after fighting this, after taking your client to arbitration and threatening millions of dollars, is suddenly backing down. And what you're saying is it may be in their interest to fold in this public manner because there are other people with a similar situation that would raise other potential violations of the law.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And Donald Trump does not want to face a deposition by me where I ask him questions about the payment to Stormy Daniels, Ms. McDougal, and others, as well as the use of his NDAs or NDAs to shut people up and silence people in order for him to be elected. That's exactly what the issue is.
Let me read you from his side, which claims, and I'm going to read now, this is from Donald Trump's new filing through his attorney, Charles Harder. Quote, Trump has never, in fact, taken the position that he is a party to this NDA settlement agreement. What is your response to that claim?
Well, that's ridiculous. I mean, the arbitration proceeding that was filed back in February, late February, was filed at his request. That's why Michael Cohen undertook to file it through the use of Donald Trump's own employee, Jill Martin, in California. I mean, this is a never-ending bucket of lies, series of lies, Ari. You saw the clip from Ms. Sanders standing at the White House lectern.
She won. It doesn't look like today she won.
Right. She claims she won the arbitration that we now know was bogus to begin with because it was based on an agreement, according to Trump now, that never sprung into action, was never valid to begin with. They can't keep their lies straight. But I think it's remarkable that you have Sarah Sanders now openly lying to the American people, and it's been proven to be false.
Do you think that your success here will make Donald Trump less likely to try to use NDAs against other people or not?
I don't think that he learns his lessons very easily. I think we've seen that time and time again.
Are you calling him a slow learner, Michael?
Oh, I'm calling him a pathetically slow learner, just so we're clear. Pathetically slow learner.
Now, you were here in your capacity as an attorney representing Stormy Daniels.
I am.
But you have also been playing another role, which is moonlighting and flirting with the possibility of becoming a Democratic candidate. Let me play you here in Iowa. Take a look.
Can the potential nominee beat Donald Trump? Period. And part of that analysis has to be, can the nominee go into Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, and similar Midwestern states and really talk to some of the voters that crossed over from Obama and voted for Donald Trump?
Do you plan to run for president?
I don't know yet. I'm continuing to travel around the country. I'm meeting with people. I'm talking with people. I'm gauging the interest. People have been very enthusiastic.
When will you make the decision?
I don't know yet. I'm going to make it in the coming months. But let me say this. There's an enormous amount at stake in 2020. The Democrats have to nominate a real fighter, not a paper tiger, not a make-believe fighter,
right.
A real fighter that'll take the fight to this guy.
If you're a serious fighter and you're really going to run, you know how this works. It's just like court. The deadlines matter. Hillary Clinton had publicly declared by April 2015, which for us would be the equivalent of the April after the midterms, and she'd made a lot of moves before then. Will you decide by January, by the start of the new year?
I promise you I'll decide by April.
You'll decide by April.
I promise you that.
So the headline here, Michael Avenatti seriously considering a presidential run and will decide yes or no by April.
Well before April.
Before April. By March?
Yes, sure, I'll give you March.
Sounds like you've been thinking about it. By February?
Don't know yet.
Okay, but you're going to decide by March if you're for real. That way people will know whether this is a TV tease or a real thing.
Well, look, I want to be really clear about something. All right, this is not a TV tease. I mean, this is for real. I'm strongly looking at this. That's why I'm traveling around the country. I'm listening to people. And look, people have been very enthusiastic because they want a fighter. The Democrats need a fighter, and they better nominate somebody that can actually beat this guy because we have an enormous amount at stake in 2020. We cannot screw this up.
Michael Avenatti exploring a run, and we will know by March if that run is to commence. Thank you for coming on the beat. And I will say, as I would say to any side in the case, congratulations on the progress you made.